Good morning. It's time for a high five. This is Mary Bostrom of Ken Bostrom Ministries, and this is Monday, and this is also the day that the Lord has made, and we choose to rejoice and be glad in it. I love that song by Marianne Markarian. I choose to live grateful. Amen. You know, today is on the Hebrew calendar is Elul 25. E-L-U-L is a acronym for I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. And today is the first day of creation. So I want to read to you in, I should have had that ready, shouldn't I have? You know, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, Genesis in Hebrew is Bereshit. Bereshit, it means beginning. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, did God ever create anything a mess? Did he ever create anything just terrible? No, everything he made was beautiful. But when we come to the verse 2, the earth became, it says was. But if you look in Hebrew, that word means became. So I have crossed off was, and I wrote over became. I write in my Bible. The earth became without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, Haya or. I mean, he spoke. The first word spoken by God in the Bible is Haya or, light be. Let there be light, and there was light. Let me tell you, when God speaks, that happens. He said, Haya or, light be. He didn't say, I hope that there's going to be light. No, maybe there's going to be light. No, he called it into being. And that's what we're supposed to be calling. We're supposed to be speaking peace. We're supposed to be speaking joy. We're supposed to be speaking good things to each other. Amen. And calling into this darkness. There's so much darkness in this world. I believe that there's billions of years between verses 1 and 2. Between when God created everything perfect and when it became a literal mess. I love how Billy Brim teaches the earth became tahu babohu. It became a literal mess. Tahu babohu. And in the book of, I think it's 2 Peter, it might be 1 Peter, sorry about that. It says, and the world that was, that's the world that was between those two verses. And the world that now is, and that's now, and the world that will be to come, that's that's a new heaven and new earth. And so there's one other thing that happened on this day. And I'm going to read to you from Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 15. So the wall was finished on the 25th day of Elul in 52 days. Now that wall in Jerusalem, remember Nehemiah, he was a cupbearer for the king, and he was a faithful servant to the king. And he went to the king and told him, you know, he was sad, and he said the walls are still down in Israel and in Jerusalem, and they're not protected, and the king says, what can I do? And the king paid for it. The king gave him time off to go and take care of that, and everything he provided, the king provided, the Babylonian king, yeah, a Persian king. And so it had been down for over 70 years. They had not been able to fix the wall. But yet Nehemiah, one person, because God had called one person, he was able to get everybody together in Jerusalem and fix the walls and the gates in Jerusalem in 52 days. You know, that looked like an impossibility, but with God, nothing is impossible. And you know, I love how Revival Radio TV, how it says, why don't you be the one? Let you be the one. You might be the one that stands in the gap for in a crisis for over 1,000 people. Be that one. Amen. Nothing is impossible with God. And remember, in the book of Psalms, It says they limited God in the wilderness. They limited the Holy One of Israel. So we don't want to limit God. He's a big God. Amen. God bless you.